Welcome, welcome on in. Welcome to Reading Between the Wines. This is Disc 5, Restoration, the Art of Letting Go. Tonight, featuring a friend of the show. She's been here plenty of times, and so much, honestly, that I actually kind of forgot. She has supported me since day one when I first started, and it's going to be a great conversation tonight. Great experience tonight. She's coming with an amazing new journal that she's going to share with each and every one of you. The Art of Letting Go, featuring author Vallean Jackson. Thank you all so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Thank you for the people who are out there. If you could please do me a favor, please like, comment, share, subscribe, tag a friend, text a friend, do whatever you need to do to bring them on in. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate each and every one of you out there for rocking with me. We're going to have a great show tonight. We have author Vallean Jackson coming in. If you have any questions for her, if you have any questions for me, please go ahead and put them in the chat, and we will have a Q&A section towards the end. And we're going to get this thing on the road here. Now, before we go ahead and get started, I have to give a very special thank you to my executive producer, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for another opportunity. He gives me another opportunity to give each and every one of you another episode of Reading Between the Wines. Without him, none of this would be possible. And without each and every one of you out there who continuously comes in and checks, likes, comments, subscribes, tags a friend, watches the podcast, I appreciate you. And I want to say thank you so much. This is night 6, and this has been eye-opening. It's been an eye-opening movement, but that's exactly what it has been as well, just a movement. It's been a big movement, and I have some very special announcements to make towards the end of the show as well that lets you know where we get ready to pick up from here, because just because this is the last live show of part 1, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. So this is only part 1. There's several parts to this that are coming. We're going to have several more featured guests coming in the future. So we're just getting started. So I will address all of that towards the end. But I want to go ahead and give a very special shout out to a couple people out there who have been supporting. First of all, let's take it back from day 1. Antonio Armenio Trujillo, night 1. Please go ahead and check that replay out. Thank you so much for coming on. I know we have been playing, I guess we can say phone tag, since this is 411 Reading Between the Wines. He's very consistent and very passionate about what he does. And like I said in the beginning, only quality people this time around. I have been burned. I have done it to myself, where I set myself up for failure by just trying to have a whole bunch of people come into my environment. Now it's very important that it's just only quality people, only quality artists, people who are true and sincere to themselves and their actual brand and what they come to do. So Antonio definitely is a true testament of that. So thank you so much for coming on. His first time coming on, and he's been amazing. And, hopefully we'll have him back in the future. Miss Raquel Hernandez, a friend of the show, fellow New Jerseyan. She always comes. She's always coming with some great wisdom, some great knowledge, and just some great conversation and just great people in general. So please go ahead and check out night 2. Night 3, we had Maddie Lee Mars, her second time coming on. She came on back in 2022, and then she came back as well. Great conversation. Love speaking to her. And it's just a mystical moment every time we get together as well. So go ahead and support Maddie Lee Mars as well. Birdman 313. He opened up the Reading Between the Wine series, and we have Vallean Jackson that's going to close it out tonight. Love Birdman, friend of the show, brother. We always go back and forth, and we keep in touch with each other in between these series. So, I guess if everyone else is all right with it, I'm all right with it. I guess Birdman will be back again for the next series as well. So, love speaking with him. Ian West, another person who supports, and I appreciate his friends that come, his fans that come when he comes as well. So Ian West, musician from Tennessee, go ahead and watch that replay. I'm going to talk a little bit about that episode as well because there were some breakthrough moments. And then, of course, we're arriving right where we are here today with Miss Vallean Jackson coming in soon. Very special thank you to Alex Coquito all the way from Puerto Rico, Miss Shanti Refuge, author Lauren Schultz, Bethany Trent, Queen Dawn Spirit. We haven't spoken to Miss Queen Dawn Spirit in a while. Let's see if we can get her back on here as well. My niece Okita, Danny Lopez all the way from Belgium. I'm actually sampling some wine tonight that is bottled in Belgium. So that's a good situation right there. Lash Maverick Essentials, Miss Sophie Davis, all the way from the UK. Thank you so much for supporting me. I appreciate you. Mark Parker, Will Serve, Leah Abram, New Mexico, Ruth Parker, Easy Street with Jen, Mr. Christopher Prasad, and I love this handle name here. She Will, because she will. Thank you so much to She Will and Sen Babu. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the international love too. People from out of the country. That's so mystical too when that happens, when I start to connect with people from outside of the country. Okay, so let's speak about. So first of all, I have to be very honest with y'all and keep it real. This has been an interesting week. All of the live episodes that took place. Then last night, I had a late night, early morning. Last night, I went to the Mary J. Blige for my fans tour, which I'll speak about that. And then early this morning, I had to do something that is involved with the coaching sessions as far as continued education, as well as far as financial literacy. So Mary J. Blige concert by night. And then during the day, I had to put on my professional hat and get into a classroom setting so I can continue to bring good quality content towards the coaching session as well, and to the people who subscribe to that part of the membership. So interesting week. So much energy on so many different levels, from a physical energy to a mental. And I guess I'm not quite sure which one is worse. Sometimes the mental can be a lot when you're constantly doing a lot of things and you have meetings and this and that, and then podcasting and all of that good stuff. And then there's also the physical as well that goes on the toll on the body. But any case, let me get back on track here so we can get Miss Vallean Jackson in here. So Thursday night, now that I got my bearings straight, Thursday night, we had musician Ian West on here, and we spoke about restoring relationships and reclaiming peace. And a song of the day was For Granted by Lale Mariah. And I really strongly urge you to go back and watch that replay because it gives you a good perspective of, I guess, how not to treat people, if that makes sense, not to take people for granted. And it teaches you what not to do. And I have been in a situation where I have taken people for granted. I've taken my blessings for granted. I've taken a lot of things for granted. And tonight we're going to speak about that as well, too. And it's all going to tie up together as we close this thing out. But when life happens, trust and believe. When life happens, life happens. And life has a way of letting you know the rights and wrongs, and just make sure that you're on the right side. And if you aren't on the right side and you may have taken somebody for granted, it's okay, because we can go ahead and restore some broken relationships and then reclaim peace within self. Because as long as we do our best and we try to restore and we try to mend what was broken, and sometimes the bridges are burned down and you can't cross them and there's no going back. And then that's where it comes from, self-forgiveness. As long as you do your part and you try to heal and show some sort of forgiveness for your part, then you're able to reclaim peace. It's when we hold on to stuff and we're very resentful and we can't see our own faults and we point the finger and we say it was you, it was you, it was you, and you did this to me and you did this to me, not taking any accountability and not looking in the mirror, not looking at that person back and taking responsibility, do we stay stuck? And I'm going to leave it right there. Go ahead and watch that replay, Ian West, when we spoke about restoring relationships and reclaiming peace. Now, as we get on into this last night with Mary J. Blige, what an awesome, ultimate experience. And I love how every time I go to a Mary J. Blige concert, I end up meeting friends. And it was interesting because I always meet somebody And I just loved all of the fans out there. You could see how Mary has, because me, looking at me, I can sit here and say, yeah, I'm the number one fan. Um, I'm the real number one fan, by the way, but I can sit there and say that. But I, deep down inside, let's keep it real. Mary J. Blige has touched millions of people. I'm not the only fan. I know who I am with the music and everything and the journey that I've been. I know what type of fan I am, but when I can see the way people were dressing, the things that they were wearing, the Mary swag, people created their own, Mary swag, and they had stuff custom made. And me and my sister were talking about it, where there's different generations, because, for instance, my daughters, they knew Mary J. Blige from the age of 0. And I made a joke about it. you know you knew all of these Mary records when you were in her womb before you even came out. So, but to see my daughters sitting in the audience and singing every Mary J. Blige song word for word was another confirmation. To see people who are in wheelchairs, there's grandmothers out there, there's youngsters out there. It's a true testament of what Mary J. Blige, her art, and what she's able to do, and how she's able to connect and inspire so many different people. And that's a great word for last night. It was just inspirational. And if you've seen the Good Morning Gorgeous tour, which was the tour prior to this For My Fans tour has nothing on a Good Morning Gorgeous tour. She definitely kicked her game up with this tour here. I've never seen Mary doing any of those things that she is doing on a For My Fans tour. So if that's what we doing, Mary, I can't wait to see what you have coming in the future. And yeah, so late night last night, but it was definitely worth it. And shout out to the ladies that were sitting in behind me. They definitely showed so much love. And I love that too. Every time I go to a Mary concert, the people that I meet, they just show so much love. I'm always meeting friends there. And yeah, this morning I had to get up early, financial workshop, some great things that are coming from that. And there's more to come that I don't even know, that I can't even speak about. But if you are passionate, just like I'm passionate, about living debt free and never going back into debt again. Absolutely not. Over my dead body, I'm going to do everything that I need to do to build that gap, to build that mountain, to build that ocean, to build whatever the hell I got to build in between me and debt, because I absolutely never want to do it again. I've been living a lie, acting like I was this and I was that, but deep down inside, behind closed doors, that's the truth behind it. And keeping up with the Joneses and trying to be like the person down on your job and this, that, the next, the other, and driving the cars just like everybody else have, having the bling, having the fashion, having all of that stuff just like everybody else does. That is a true recipe for disaster if you don't have yourself set up properly. And I'm so passionate about it because this is what I wanted to do, to be a podcaster. I wanted to give to my community. I wanted to create something. I am a creator. I am made in an image of God, and He is a creator. So if I'm made in an image like Him, I am a creator, and He has called me to create stuff. So when I don't have my finances in order, when I don't have my ducks in a row, when I don't have myself set up for success, I'm not able to be the creator that He has created me to become. So because of that, I had to step away from what I was so passionate about and get myself in order, and then come back and deliver myself to my community the way that I'm supposed to. And with that, once I started to learn some things and I started to understand some things, now I have an obligation to give to my community, to help teach and help train and help coach people through. And I can do that, and I can help you through the coaching sessions. I created something called the coaching sessions. If you're interested in debt-free living, you might be living from paycheck to paycheck. You might not know what's going on with your current circumstances. You might just know, guess what? I don't want to do this again. So if that's the case, head on over to LarenGaines.com and sign up for my free 15-minute consultation. and we can discuss your current situation. And everybody's situation is different. My situation is different from yours. Yours is going to be different from the next person, and vice versa. You might need more help in the spiritual aspect. Maybe you want to figure out how to connect your finances to your spiritual world. Maybe it's the mental world. I know that for me, I had to focus on reprogramming my mind, and that comes from breaking generational curses. Just because you come from certain areas does not mean that you have to stay stuck. And just because your parents think a certain way doesn't mean that you have to continuously think a certain way. We are going to subconsciously pick up the things that our parents do and fall into those generational curses. And you don't even need to live in the same household as them. You don't just find yourself doing certain things that your parents do and you don't even know why. Saying some of the things that your parents say and you don't even know why. Thinking the way that some of your parents think and you don't even know why, because it's been embedded in us. So now there's an opportunity to go ahead and change that. So that might be fixing your mental when it comes to how you think about money and how you feel about money. I had to reprogram everything, burn it all the way to the ground and turn it down and figure out how I can think differently about money. And it might also be the physical aspect, which I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but the first sin was food. So the enemy was able to trick Eve through food. And some of us, when we look at where our money is going, a lot of it is through food. We love to eat and post on the gram and show people all of the nice fancy restaurants that we're eating at. And anyway, that's a whole nother story. But it might be that aspect. We might need to, bring the reins in a little bit when it comes to the physical aspect. And how active are you getting out into nature? That also ties into your finances as well. So many different ways and avenues. Your situation might be different and it may not look like mine. It might not look like the next person's. Head on over to LarenGaines.com if you want more information on that. So now, let's get right on into tonight's show, Reading Between the Wines, Episode 6, The Art of Letting Go. Song of the day, I'm Done, from Tweet, and this is off of her 2005 album, It's Me Again. Now I have to put this out there. Song of the day is I'm Done. But have you ever been to the point that you were just over all of the stress, all of the nonsense, all of the drama that's been in your life? You might have said, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done, but you found yourself going back to the same situation over and over again. But let me tell you this, continuously keep speaking and saying that you're done, because what happens is that the spirit is done before the soul is done. See, I look back at my life and I realized that in 2019, I kept saying that I'm done with my current situation that I was in. 2019, I was done. But my spirit was done with the situation because I spoke it into existence before it even got there. So 2019, internally, I was done. But the soul, the flesh, didn't connect with that. Spirit was saying one thing, but the flesh was doing another. And it took for 2019 for the spirit to say that I'm done. And the soul didn't catch up until approximately 11 months later. That was interesting because every single day I said that I'm done. I don't appreciate this. I don't like the current circumstances that I'm in. I don't understand what happened, but I started to take responsibility for myself and I stopped blaming and I just started to internalize and look at my current situation. So I don't know who I'm talking to, but I'm only speaking from experience. If you are in a certain situation, if you're in a certain relationship, if you're at a job that you don't like, if you are attached to certain people, places, and things that you're not excited about anymore, your spirit might be saying, I'm done. But you might just be saying, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done. And you don't understand why it's not lining up. But hold on, because whatever we think about up here shows up in reality. I've been saying that all week. Whatever we think about and focus up on here shows up in a reality. So your spirit might be saying that I'm done, but you're not really done until you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're going to know when you're done. When you start to internalize and you start to look at your situation and you start to realize that no more cussing, no more fighting, no more pointing fingers. How did I get myself into this? When you can sit back and say, how did I get myself here? How did we do this thing here? And then once you sit on it and you keep questioning and you keep internalizing and you keep telling yourself that you're done, you're going to find a way out. Focus on getting out already. Focus on being out already. Focus on being out. Once you say I'm done, start to visualize yourself being out of that situation. I spoke everything into existence and I didn't understand what was happening. And you got to be very careful because words are very powerful. Because I remember saying specific things about what I wanted to happen. And I kept saying them over and over and over again. And once I detached away from it, all of a sudden, boom, things started to shift in a certain order. Once I stopped caring about it, once I stopped getting so crazy and caring so much and harping on trying to fix somebody else and I started focusing on fixing myself, it showed up that way. Speak it into existence. Even though that the spirit is speaking it, the soul, sometimes it takes time for that soul to go ahead and show up. That's the fleshly, that's the worldly part. The inner part, the spirit man, might be saying, I'm done with this situation. It's over. I can't take it no more. I won't do it no more. And usually that happens when you get sick and tired, good and sick and tired of yourself, sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's exactly what happened in 2019. And all of a sudden, boom, 2020 showed up. And here we are right here. Welcome to Reading Between the Wines. I don't know how it happened, but I started to speak things. I started to say things. I started to visualize myself. I started to separate myself. Even though I was currently in a difficult situation, mentally I separated myself and I started to envision myself right where we are here today. Song of the day, I'm Done by Tweet, 2005. If you're done and you know you're done, because every single day when you wake up, you're starting to look at your current circumstance and you say, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Not the person who says I'm done. And then the next day you're back into a smiling and trying to make it work. You just reset the game. The person who wakes up and says, I'm done. The person who knows internally that they're done. But unfortunately, we still have to show up to this function. Unfortunately, we still have to go here and play nice. But deep down inside, oh, we're done. And you know what? We're focusing on how to get out of this situation. And the enemy might be right there. We might be sleeping with the enemy. We might be wrapped up and we might be entangled with the enemy. And you know, the worst thing that you can do is go ahead and let them know what your game plan is. But your game plan is up here. Focus up here. Don't let it come out here. Just focus up here. Internalize it. Because when you start to do that, and the more you do that, and the more you get with self, and the more you separate yourself from whatever current situation you're in, and more you think about yourself being separate and speak about yourself being separate when you are in your meditative state and zone, that's all I have to say. 2019, but it took 11 months for it to show up into my reality. Wow. It's going to be an interesting show tonight. It's going to be great. Closing this up. Again, I said this is part one. Several more series coming up, live series coming up this year. But I got this wine here that we're going to sample tonight as we go ahead and close this up. And I make sure that I get this name right. But let's see what I got here. Let me show you the bottle first. That'll help with the visualization. Sparkling wine. Let me get this up close. There we go. Charles Dulac Musso Brut Rosé. It's a French wine. Hopefully I did that some justice. Charles Dulac. That's from the Charles Dulac Winery. Musso Brut Rosé. Now this is 10.5% alcohol by volume, and it is a product of France, but it's bottled in Belgium. So we're going to get into this tonight. And this is a visualization with the glass so you can see. It is sparkling wine, and it is from the region of France. And this is going to be slightly on all levels, just a tad bit on the bolder side, tad bit on a more acidic side, and more fizzy. Now, the last sparkling wine that produced a lot of fizz was the Snoop Dogg sparkling wine. So, if you ever seen the 19 Crimes version, he has a sparkling wine and he also has a sparkling rosé. And if you like a lot of bubbles, I highly recommend that. That is a great product, and I definitely will be sampling that in the future. So let's see if this stands the test of a lot of fizz and a lot of bubbles. Some people like that, especially, I think it sort of just makes you feel a certain way when you're at like a nice function and, there's a lot of fizz going on. I don't know. I'm just, just my experience. It just sort of makes you feel a certain way. And wine experts say that this sparkling wine would pair well with shellfish, which is probably a go-to. When you do the seafood, a good sparkling wine will really, put a little icing on the cake. Poultry, appetizers and snacks, lean fish. Fish works so well with white wines and sparkling wines, and even served well with an aperitif. This bottle of wine costs approximately like $15. And before I get into that, that's another thing with me being the financial nerd that I am. I officially claim the title of financial nerd, and I'm okay with that. And I want to give you quality wines without breaking the bank. I want to give you vacation experiences without breaking the bank. I want to I want to reach out and speak to the person who is interested in having a great time, but is not interested in blowing the budget, blowing the bank. Want to live life, and I want to live life long, and I want my money to grow long. So there's certain things that we have to do to make sure that we set ourselves up for success. So the bottles of wines and the books on Wine Down Wednesday, when we have reading between the wines, is going to be geared towards that budget friendly, savvy person. So there you go. Cheers. Thank you so much for rocking with me for all of these years. Great new things are coming in the future. Great products are coming in the future. And, we're going to go ahead and rock this thing out. Cheers. This is very sweet. Very sweet sparkling wine. I wouldn't say that it's very fizzy. Like some of the reviews said it was super fizzy, and it's kind of actually the exact opposite. Like this does not really stand the test at all when it comes to, like I spoke about that bottle of Snoop Dogg's wine. I actually opened up the bottle of wine and I didn't finish it. And I didn't even store it the proper way because I was on a road. So I didn't even store it properly. I didn't even have the rebottler. And I just put the bottle of wine in the refrigerator. Well, the next morning when I went to go pour it again, man, that fizz was still on point. I don't know how they did it when it comes to that Snoop Dogg wine. And I know that this is not his segment, but this this does not stand the test of it at all. So when these bottles of wine say that it's like super fizzy, they're gonna have to compete with that Snoop Dogg wine because I've never experienced any sparkling wine like that. That you leave it open with the cap off, and then the next day it's still like on point. I don't know. I'm just saying. And on that note, um, when it comes to this, I'm not gonna say that it's like my favorite. Would I purchase this one again and have it again? I'm not gonna say that I probably would. I mean, it's good. I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's definitely not like something where I'm like, oh, I want to go ahead and get that bottle of wine again. Still sampling it. I'm not going to sit here and say that it ain't good, but it is. But it's not something that I'm going to go run and try to go out and purchase again. So this is the Charles Dulac Musso Brut Rosé, 10.5% alcohol volume, product of France, bottled in Belgium. And I mean, I don't feel one way or the other. I guess I'll say like sort of in the middle. It's not something that when I see it in the store again that I'm going to want to, do backflips to get it. But I don't dislike the bottle of wine. As far as what the expert said, as far as it would be more fizzy, it would be more bold, it would be more acidic. It doesn't seem to stand up to the hype. I thought that once I took that sip, I was going to be like thrown back. Like, you know how you get like a nice, fresh, cold uh, soda when it's real fizzy and it's real strong. It didn't get any of that. It just seems to be, like they say nowadays, it's just regular. It'd be regular. That's what it is. So, without further interruptions, let's go ahead and bring up my friend, Miss Vallean Jackson. This is the first time that she's going to be here live face to face. And I know we spoke plenty of times. I've so many times that I've lost count. But this is going to be the first time that we're going to have this dynamic experience face to face. So I'm looking forward to this. So let's see what happens here. And also, it would help if everything runs smooth too. We had minimal distractions this week, and I'm proud of that. But it would help if things just ran a little bit smoother, if the admin stuff was working properly. What's going on? How are you?
I am. Listen, can you hear me okay?
I'm loud and clear. Sound real good to me.
Listen, first and foremost, I just got my house. But actually, I got my first house, actually. So if you hear an echo, it ain't no fun agenda just yet. But when we spoke earlier,
Mhm.
I live far out, like far out. So I'm okay now that I'm home because I was, ooh, you should have seen me on the road. I was cussing people out. Get out the way. What you doing? Why you doing it? Like,
Oh no.
I was breaking hell to get here. So I'm relieved to be here because I'm a woman of my word. I don't like, not being on time or standing nobody up because I understand that time is precious. So I'm okay. How are you?
I know that's right. Well, first of all, congratulations on being a homeowner. Um,
So it ain't on, but it mine.
oh, okay, okay. I listen. I know what you mean. And for the homeowners out there, I know I'm about to shake things up a bit, but for the homeowners out there, I just want to say congratulations when it comes to you cutting your grass and it comes to you shoveling your snow, when it comes to you doing all of your gardening and all that stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been there and done that. And I've done that for so many years that I actually sold my home. But when I go into home ownership again, oh, trust and believe we're going to pay for that good HOA and we're going to be in those great condominiums so that I don't have to do that. But for those of y'all that want that good backyard experience and want to be digging and toiling and flipping and sweating and freezing, I say congratulations. Everybody should experience it once.
And back up what he's saying. I'm not ready yet, which is why I am okay with renting. And listen, as a journalist that interview real estate agents, let me tell y'all something. People gonna tell you the American dream is to own a home. I'm gonna tell you, don't be so stuck on the dream that you don't understand what all come with it. And because most of these real estate agents not gonna tell you the truth of finding a house and closing it is the easy part. Maintaining it and building value and keeping equity on it and make sure it's in tip top shape, that's the hard part. And like he said, I'm not ready for that. By me renting, when my grass need to be cut, hey, how y'all doing? $20 grand. Yeah. A roof problem. Something wrong with the roof. Guess who's gonna replace the roof? Them, not me.
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother thing too, and I don't know even know how we got on this, but it makes sense though because we gonna give it to them. And I also will tell you that when it comes to all of these, I own these certain things, all of these liabilities that we claim that are assets. Your home is not an asset until you actually have made your last payment on it, because
Ooh.
other than that, it belongs to the bank. So, and the same thing with that car that's in your driveway. You don't own the car until you have made that last payment. Do me a favor and don't pay them for 6 months and see what happens.
You better stop preaching. Because since we here with it, let me go ahead and do my education real quick. What the government has done to a lot of Americans is program us to believe that if you buy a home, that home is yours. Honestly, a mortgage is just another word for renting, because if you stop paying your rent, you get evicted. You stop paying your mortgage, you get evicted. So, same thing, different terminology. And for me, the reason why I haven't bought a house, because I want to do it the right way. And somebody would say, "What's the right way?" Buy the land. Because if you are buying a house and all of a sudden they say, "You know what, you're buying this house, but we own that land, so legally we got the right to take your house because we own the land." And for me, a lot of people don't know that because they think, okay, well, I bought the house, but you don't own the land. You ever heard of a story or three about somebody get those historic homes? They're historic because of the land that they sit on, not because of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, Valene knows when she goes to buy her first home, she got to buy the land first. That's what y'all need to know. And if you own a land, then you can own a house, and then can't nobody take that from you. But long as you have a house that's through the bank, baby, that's not yours. I don't care if you pay got a mortgage for that's $40 and it's a $500,000 house. Let me tell you something. That's still their house and not yours. I don't care that you held up that sign that said sold. It's not your house. You're renting. It's just mortgage. Mortgage rent. Because you say mortgage, it makes you feel a little bit more adulting. You're still renting, just the same.
Well, welcome to Reading Between the Lines. Listen, um, I have some exciting news that's coming up. You might be a great person to join the mentorship program, because that's what it's all about as far as teaching people debt free living through a lens of spiritual, physical, mental, and financial well being. So, the conversation that we having, this is exactly what is coming in the future for Reading Between the Wines and 401 podcast. So, but anyway,
In this society is so needed because, like you said, so many blinders have been put up on the perception of the American dream and living. Oh my God. Especially, I interviewed a gardener. Nope. She's a nutritionist. And this was like when you get into the food side. Hmm.
well, yeah, it's a whole another story, right?
Oh no, the story, Mr. and Mrs. Organic, gluten free, sugar free diet. Right. Okay, girl. They care.
Oh,
Care.
you are, listen. This wine is going down really smooth. They said it was going to be like super bold and acidic and fizzy, but it really goes down smooth. But this stuff that you're talking here today, and paired with this bottle here, this could be a situation tonight. So I need you to take it easy on me tonight.
And nothing. I said nothing. I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna give all the tea because there's a lot of people out here. They not ready for the actual reality. They still like to live in the la la land that in a pretty picture the United States of America is supposed to be. So I'm gonna leave them in their little la la land. Float on your clouds, baby.
And when you're ready, just head on over to LarenGaines.com and sign up for that free 15-minute consultation, because listen, I was stuck before. I was stuck.
Go over
I,
there and get it. Lock
I thought
in.
I thought I knew everything. And once you think you know everything, you end up not knowing anything at all.
Or and you stop kind of being closed minded of I gotta go there because we here now. I'm not gonna go too far in. One of the
Hmm.
things that I want people to be more aware of, especially in the Black society, we are raised with certain stuff embedded in us that we take upon ourselves, that truthfully we don't even understand why we do it, besides only the fact of we was raised upon it, and not realize now that you're older you got the right to first of all understand why you even celebrate what you celebrate, why you believe what you believe. Is it because you truly believe it, or because that's what you was raised around, and what you were raised around wasn't right? And it's like in a black community they don't want to understand that. Like for example, what's one of them holidays? St. Patrick's Day. Why do we celebrate St. Patrick's Day? What they got to do with us?
Um, I'm gonna need you to stop.
Yeah,
Um,
I was gonna get into it, but I ain't gonna get too much into it because it's like I want people to not be narrow minded and doing stuff out of habit, out of doing stuff out of that. Kind of also ties into one of our topics for tonight of it's time to unpack, because we have a bad habit of continuing to do stuff out of habit, and because we've seen it,
mm,
when you
mm,
become carrying certain things, oh, let me run that back. When you get used to carrying certain things, it does not seem like it's a problem. Just because you still roll a suitcase, that don't mean that it ain't heavy.
mm.
Mm.
I'm I like to consider myself as like the black sheep of the family. I do some bizarre things in my family's eyes, and there are certain things that I made a stance. Actually, it was last year. Yeah, last year was the first year that I no longer celebrated the folly days, which was Thanksgiving and Christmas. And New Year's Day. Like, I don't celebrate those at all. Now, I'm the only one in my family that doesn't do that, so they might be looking at me like I'm a little crazy, and I'm okay with that. But I so
I,
mystical that you brought that up. But yeah, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas,
all of that
um,
Easter, cut it.
Easter,
Cut it.
absolutely not. Yeah, no. Last
This is
year,
this is what I knew I loved you. I just see. I knew I loved you because my circle that I have, they're like that. So it doesn't, when you surround, when you meet, when they say you, when you meet your people, you know that they're your people. Because it's like if you talk to your family, no offense, they show signs of being narrow minded and you're not open minded to the truth. You still see the picture and not in reality. So to them, like you said, it might seem like you're bizarre. When it's like, honestly, if you listen to what's being said, truthfully, it doesn't make sense. Or even though the meaning behind it, you would not celebrate it. You saying Happy Valentine's Day. Do you know what Valentine's Day originated from? And if you
mm,
truly knew the real meaning of it, you wouldn't be so quick to say, "Oh, well, it's a day about love."
mm.
No, actually, it was a day about murder. But you know, it's okay. But you right now,
Anybody, and I'm anybody out there, if you can tell me in the Bible where does it say that December 25th he was born, then just
that,
let me know because I haven't been able to find that yet.
or
And
some what's it Easter and what's also about where they've mentioned the word Easter in the Bible as far as reference as Easter and a rabbit. Find that part too. And a rabbit shedding eggs. Also, shedding eggs.
rabbit and eggs don't mix, and that doesn't make any sense because last time I checked, rabbits don't lay eggs, but that's coming up soon, right? In a couple weeks. Yeah,
And you know
interesting.
what somebody said? Ain't it crazy that Easter falls on the same day as 420? And I was like, it's just a day to me. I mean, to you, oh my God, Easter on 420. It's 420. I would rather celebrate 420 more than I would Easter.
So I saw a little hand there. We got a superstar in the making. Hello. How are you? You
Okay,
good?
so come on, your airhead tongue. Thank you. Good.
Oh, that's funny.
But I'm
Okay.
glad we age because people just like, oh my God, Christmas coming up. You ain't celebrating Christmas, baby. What you celebrate? If you can tell me if you're telling me what you can celebrate, then I will go and I'm lying. I'm not gonna do it. But tell me what you celebrate. Tell me. Just tell me. And then when it comes to New Year, oh baby, you said New Year is January 1st,
No,
right?
No, New Year's was actually just a couple weeks ago. Wasn't it last week? Last week.
Period. Somebody told me that how can you celebrate a new year in the old season? And I was like, ooh,
Yeah, because everything dies in the winter time and then it comes to life in spring. And yeah, we just celebrated the New Year. So for those of you who knew that the New Year was just last week on the 20th,
yes.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Now
Hmm.
it's 25.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. This is so deep. I had no idea we were going down this path, but when I took a step back, and when did I step back? I think it was 2023, 2023, 2024. I went through a deep spiritual, um, I guess we want to say, I don't want to. Maybe it was an awakening because I know there's several different stages of it. But I thought that I was awoke. I thought I was woke in the beginning, but then I really things really started to open up during that process. And the only way that I was able to do that is from stepping back, unplugging from the matrix, and not going along just to get along and separating myself. And a lot of these things started to become revealed. So anybody out there that's listening to this and we might have like unlocked something, or you might be unsure, you might be questioning something, separate yourself, unplug a little bit, get with self. Everything starts with self. Once you turn some things down, then you can turn yourself up, that you can get in tune with your higher power, but you got to turn some things down. You got to turn some things off. It could be that TV, it could be that negative friend, it could be that person on your job, it could be turn
And,
some things down so that you can turn yourself up spiritually.
and yours came in 2023, and you say it might be an awakening. Yours was awakening, and mine was finally choosing myself. So to back up what he said, don't be afraid to choose yourself.
Oh,
That that was my unlock. That was my awakening of when I finally chose myself. Things start to move different. Of understanding, saying, "Hold on." It might have took me until 2024 to finally realize, "Hold up, why am I celebrating some? Why am I doing these certain things? Do I even like celebrating Thanksgiving? Nah, I just want to eat. I eat a turkey time a week with some collard greens, some macaroni, cheese, and dressing. Because it's regular ass food. It's just food, nothing special about it. I'm not Indian. Ain't got nothing to do with me. And it came to realization of what do I like to do? What do I want? So to help to to add on to what he already said, literally, if this resonates with you and it's something that your spirit been needing, it's okay to choose you. It's okay to separate from the world. It's okay to, even if it's family. And I think to me, that's probably my testimony. And I want people to know that most people gonna look at you crazy. And they like, that's your family. You only get one family. Not necessarily. You might be born to one family, but you can meet somebody tomorrow and they can get you and they can get you, not who is perceived, but they can get you quicker than somebody who you was actually born to. So don't be afraid to detach from family, loved ones, a job when it come down to you. You got to stand 10 toes down behind yourself before anything, anybody. That includes your kids, your job, your mama, your daddy, your husband. If you don't stand 10 toes down behind you, no name that's metal. Period.
you know what? I'm the show's over. It's over. Like, I mean,
Hey, we ain't talked about my baby yet.
so many things that you said just make so much sense, and I didn't know that we were going to do this tonight, but it makes sense because I think you know what we need. This. I'm not in any rush, so we gonna get there. So, Miss Vallean Jackson, you are from Mississippi, right?
You say the same thing every time. It
But
sound like that. Sound
but
like that.
it's Mississippi. Okay, and this is what I want you to do because this is the first face to face interview, and every time we go through this, and just like I don't like broke down New Jersey that I live in, and I'm out of here as soon as I can, just like that, you might be feeling the same way about your hometown. But I'll say something nice about New Jersey. We got the Jersey Shore in the summertime, and we get to turn up in the summertime. What are some things that people would love to do when they go to Mississippi?
Well, I'm from Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, why
And
do I say that? Oh, I do this
every,
every time.
like if you watch the episode, it's Mississippi. Do I sound that country? It's some real Alabamians down here that I've interviewed, and I was like, oh, when people say Alabama, I'm supposed to sound like you because you country. Anyways, um, I no longer live in the city, so that is great. I still live in Alabama, but not in Birmingham, which is I love that part. But something that will be loved about Birmingham. Wait a minute. I'm finding it. Wait. The food is good. Sometimes you gonna eat good. You might hear some gunshots behind getting that 10-piece hot lemon pepper combo with them fries and the kiki poo. You might hear a couple of gunshots. They not shooting at you. They not, but it's gonna be good.
Oh my
And if you
goodness.
go, I gotta give a shout out to my girl. It's KJ's Pastries in downtown Birmingham. Now, if you ever in Birmingham, one of my go-to sweet spots for real, is Black's own. Her name is KJ's Pastries. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. She got the most insane cupcakes there is. So, like for my go-to sweet tooth, that I want like a cupcake or a cheesecake or ice cream. She gonna get you. Like she got you a say you want a strawberry shortcake cheesecake. It's like strawberry cupcake at the bottom, but it got the frosting that is not too sweet. And it's gonna have a whole actual piece of cheesecake on top with an actual strawberry. So as far as go to, I give credit to that. And in Alabama wise, I ain't never been, but go to the beach. Orange Beach, I heard it's nice. I ain't
Okay.
been
How you been there all these years and never been to the beach?
because I go to other states.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I mean, if I'm gonna drive 4 hours, I'm gonna drive all the way 4 hours because
Wait a minute.
it's 4 hours to the Gulf Shores, but it's also 4 hours to the top of Florida. So it's like if I'm gonna drive, if 4 hours is the same either way, I'm just gonna go ahead and just
Wow.
I'm gonna
That's
go
some,
ahead and go.
wow. 4 hours just to get to the beach. Mm-mm. I've been no matter where I live at, it takes me like 45 minutes to get to the beach the most.
Never,
Wow. Hmm.
never.
Interesting. Speaking of sweet tooth, I had tried something and I probably got the name wrong, but anybody in New Jersey that knows, drop it in the comments. If you come across this replay, let me know. But something about like all about bunt cakes. I don't know if that's a national chain or whatever, but there's these little bunt cakes that come in these little small packages.
Got one.
This is what I have to say about those. Ready? I want y'all to be ready for it. What I have to say about that little thing right there. Now, my grandmother used to do stuff like this, but mm, 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 mm. That don't make no sense right there. That joint right there, them cakes and that little thing, I couldn't believe it. I have never in my life ever tasted anything like that before in my life.
Well,
Make you
um,
feel different.
because it's New Jersey. Do y'all have a crumble?
Yes. Now let me tell you about that too. I've tried that for the first time. It actually made me sick though. It was so good that it made me sick. Because me, I like to eat, so I just be greedy. And when I started eating it like that, I was like, ooh, 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 that's a lot right there.
Yeah, see, it's 50-50 with me. It's like if you catch them on a good day, you know, this is the whole trending thing of, black people don't like crumble. And it's like, it depends on what day you get them. I went with a time where it was like, it was good. But then I also went a time where I got a cookie and I was like, ma'am, there's dough in the middle. Like, did y'all cook? Did y'all cook this or no?
I'm not messing with
But I'm just,
you.
oh my, sorry, but this is how you make it, baby. You gotta cook it first. This is dough. I don't eat cookie dough. And
I
she's
do.
like, oh, I'm
Oh, I
so
do.
sorry. Um, Most of our cookies are like that. And I was like, where it's raw in the middle. Like, baby, I can still see the flour in here. Y'all didn't even mix this right.
Now, see, I would have eaten it because listen, I eat cookie dough. I as before they started making it. Now you can get it in the store where it's actually in a tub and you can actually eat it. But before that came out, I've been eating it the way I wasn't supposed to. So I'm alright with it. For example, if they say you're supposed to put the cookies in there for 10 minutes, no, they say like 20 minutes. I'm putting them in there for 10, and all that ooey gooey stuff on the inside. Oh, I'm eating all that. Most definitely, absolutely.
Well, I guess
Give
because
me
I'm a person, so certain textures I don't like the way how they feel. So it's like to bite into something that's supposed to have this chewy, soft texture, but was kind of like raw. Like, oh my god, no, I don't like this. No, this is not my jam.
now.
But anyway,
Give me a hard cookie, and that will be very upsetting to me. Like you want to talk about somebody who just, you know what, forget. It, I don't even want none. You know, I was so good to eating some soft cookies, and I wanted dessert. But since you just disrespected the whole situation by giving me some hard cookie that I could throw up against the wall and it would break, you know what? I don't even want it. I ain't even hungry no more. Nope. I go through this every time, and people know me. Like, I don't want no hard ass cookies, so don't even entertain it. Like, that's one thing that kind of annoys me. Like, mess it up if you want to. Give me a hard cookie and see what happens. But anyway, so let's get into your book. So, you got this new journal that aligns perfectly with everything that we're speaking about. So, go ahead and let us know about it.
this is my baby. She is. Ooh, I don't know how old she is now. 20. Anyway, this is my baby. It's time to unpack. She is my first self healing journal, and that's the front. And this is the back here. And this most journals that you get, they tell you that, hey, journal, and they're blank pages. But then you get to your journal and it's like, I don't know what I want to write, what I want to write about. I feel some type of way, but I don't know what to write. So in this journal is not just blank. It literally has short stories. It has prompts in there. Um, it has words and affirmations because I believe once you pour it out, you need to be filled back up. And basically, it's like I'm on the journey of healing with you without technically being there. And honestly, this is my baby, and it's not. I don't. Where she go? There she go. This is my baby, and I don't think that I like her just because I wrote it. I actually use it, and it helped me to unpack the person that I was telling you about that I unlocked in 2024. I really got to thank. I thank my book because I wrote it in because of inspiration. It was inspired by my Love on Thin Ice trilogy because the characters in there were going through so much. They were acting out and basically having so much drama and cheating. And it was like, why are they doing this? And when it came down to it all boiled down to the fact of Ginger went through this, Keontae went through this, Nova went through this, and it's just like, oh, okay, this is why she ain't say something when this happened, or this is why she reacted when he did this, or this is why he ran when, he was conflicted with the truth about, a baby being involved. And it's just like, oh my God. And it just was like, it's because of the stuff that we carry and don't realize we're carrying how much it affects our everyday life, how much it affects our jobs, how much it affects our relationships, how much it just affects us in general. So I was inspired to write this journal because it's like we can be better people. I hate the negative stigma of we're these angry people and we just always angry. And it just was like, honestly, it's really sad. I don't care whether you're in New Jersey or Alabama. In Black, we go through so much stuff that we don't talk about, that doesn't make it to the news, it doesn't make it on a headline, that we just carry. And it's like, I want people to let it out, to stop carrying it, because the more you carry it, you're going to hold on to it, and the heavier it gets. And it's like the suicide rates are too high, murder rates too high, because people are angry not because they're mad at a current situation, but about 90% of people are mad of things that they couldn't fix, couldn't heal, or are not healed from. And it's just like, it's harder for a lot of people to say, I need help. It's harder than for them to say, what counselor or therapist can I talk to? Most men, importantly, not gonna run and say, I'm gonna get me a therapist because I've been through some stuff. A woman most likely to will go, but it's like, I want, like I tell people, you might see a woman on this cover, but she is unisex because baggage does not have a gender. I want people to understand that I want you to heal. Don't let this woman on this cover fool you to believe and think that, okay, well, I can't buy this book because I'm a man. Baby, if you got pain, if you got drama, you got stuff that you've been through that you want to unpack, this is a journal for you because you need it. It's the cost about it is not for me. It's like I know that $15 way more affordable than $100 or $200 because some of them therapists they be up there. And it's just like this is an ongoing thing. I want you to have this tool in your back pocket to know that life gonna get heavy, but once you know how to unpack it and how to basically carry it better, it kind of less shows up. You get less angry about certain stuff because it no longer can affect you the way how you've been carrying it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You touched so many great points there, and I want to make sure I hit them piece by piece. So, a lot of us in our community, we might deal with stuff because of uh, sit down, shut up, stay in a child's place syndrome. What goes in this house stays in this house. And when you have been programmed like that, and this is when I spoke about earlier, from generation to generation, this is called breaking a generational curse. So when you take responsibility for yourself and you stand up and you get some therapy, when you get some financial literacy, when you get that emotional healing, when you get that mental healing, that's called breaking a generational curse. If you continuously stay stuck and you do what mommy did and you did what grandmother did and you do what great grandmother did, and you just end up doing these things and you don't even know why, just because, well, that's what we always did. That's how it was always supposed. Then that's being stuck, putting a generational curse. So when you hear that term and that biblical term, that's the key there, breaking generational curse. Now I
Right.
got now I got another thing for you. You said, just because you saw the woman on the cover, I think you are absolutely right that a man, we have to be strong, we have to be this certain way, we have to be that certain way. But here's the thing, how about you do a little bonus cover, or how about you do an alternate cover where you have the men version, and then check this out, you got the men version, you got the woman version, then you got a couple that's trying to thug this thing out together, and then you got a man and a woman focusing on each other on the cover with, so you
Oh
got the
no no
men
no!
version.
Coming. This is not the only one that's coming.
Okay.
This is just listen. You should know by now. I'm not done. I'm not done. It's just she's just the oldest child right now. She not no only She's not gonna be an only child. She's just the only one for right now. And I only said that because recently I did a story time at a school, elementary school that I was invited to read one of my children's books at, and the teacher was like, "Oh, you do journals? I need one." And he was like, "This is dope." And he was like, "But dang, I can't get it." And I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Cause there's a woman on the front. What I would look like with this in my bag?" And I was like, "See that? See, the first problem that I heard within the whole situation was, what am I going to look like with
Mhm.
this in my bag?" Shows there was a problem that he missed because that showed me that you was concerned about what somebody else was, how somebody else was going to perceive you. When at the end of the day, it was about how you perceived yourself.
Mm,
Not it's inside the book. What they say, don't judge a book by its cover. It's like, but I hear you because I know we live in a society to unfix that dynamic of belief. That's beyond me. That's like that's centuries embedded within people. That's far beyond me. So it's just like, but what I can do is to tell you that, hey, I get what you're saying. I hear you. The other ones are coming because despite me telling you it's just a woman on the cover, that don't matter. That's gonna keep you from buying it and saying, hey, it's a woman on the book. If it's a man, then I'll get it. But I did have a couple of men to actually buy the book, but they're older men, which also shows to me that by him being older, he's a man that's been here and a man that's been married for like 40 years, opposed to the man that said he went by because there was a woman on the front. He's a little bit younger. So it makes me also kind of get the perspective of that level of maturity also in this sense. So it's like, it depends on where you are at in life, if
yeah.
you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even in the aspect of females, somebody might say that, oh, this is not for like a teenager. And it's like, why not? Well, that's a woman on the front. Like if you're a teenager, which I heard this the other day while I was checking out, and I promise you, I rolled my eyes so damn hard because Because it was not my situation. Oh, you know what? I was in TJ Maxx because I don't shop in TJ Maxx, but I, because I was buying some house stuff, and this lady was like, her daughter was a teenager, and she was crying, and she was like, "Oh my God, what you crying about, girl? You ain't got nothing to cry about. You too young to be crying." I was like, I hate that shit so. Excuse my friend, but I hate that phrase so much. It irritates my soul. It irritates my spirit. Like, and that's before I knew it. I said it out loud. I did because I was like, I hate that. How? Because she's a teenager, she ain't got nothing to cry about. Because she don't pay bills, so that means she ain't going through nothing. Because she ain't clocking in on about the clock. She can't going through nothing. She ain't got no pressures in her life because she's a teenager. So again, it might be a woman on the front, but if you are human, this is human. This represents a human, not a man, not a woman, not a teenager. This is a human. I couldn't just put like an outline of somebody because then that would be less appealing. If I just put like an outline of a body. But if I had to choose, a woman represents life for everybody, whether you're a man or a woman. That's how I feel. But
Yeah, because how we get here. Yeah,
very,
that's a whole nother story. Wow.
very.
Wow. A lot. I thank you so much for unpacking all of this. Before we carry on with the rest of the segment here, do us a favor. Where can we get this new journal at?
You see her? She can be purchased now. I'm gonna tell her she's not free, but you can get her on Amazon or no, not Kindle. She's available on Amazon. She is. Or you can reach out to me and get a personalized sound copy at valleanj.com, or you can reach me out on my email at authorvalleanj@gmail.com. And if you go to Amazon and just type in my name and it's time to unpack, you can get you a copy and start your healing journey. And listen. Hear me out. Hear me out. You ready? You ready? All right, now when you get this, don't rush through it. Okay? Don't rush through it. And I say don't rush through it because at the end of the day, the baggage that you accumulated, if you 30, 35, 25, 18, 15, it ain't come in that day.
Mm, 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 mm.
Okay, so don't rush through it and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this because I feel like writing today. I feel like da da da. See, there are actual short stories and prompts, and they're targeted to hit certain things. Okay, they're not just random stuff that is actually thrown in there to just say, hey, this is a random day. That journal is coming. But for right now, we're doing targeted journaling. This is why it's called a self healing journal because it's targeted stuff that you unpack. So do not rush through it. You was not rushed in part of your creation in 9 months happened for a reason. So even with the first part of it, the very first question is, how do you feel about your name? Matter of fact, how do you feel about your name? Let's just try it out. How do you feel about your name?
Ooh, you know what? Don't even mess with me tonight. Don't even.
Hey, listen, this is live. We giving people
Mhm.
what they think because somebody told me, hold on, Valia. Somebody told me one time that my journals were not good. And I was like, that's crazy. Did you give it a try? And he was like, no. So I was like, okay, just the first page. The first question is, how do you feel about your name? And it was like, why? And I was like, because your name is your identifier. Your name is what so people can perceive you on without never even seeing you. Your name carries a lot of weight. Your name can define you before anything.
Okay.
So, how
All
you
right.
feel?
So, growing up as a child, I absolutely did not like my name because it was hard for people to pronounce. The teachers in school, it's like they purposely did stuff to like piss me off. But as I started to do research on the origins of my name, I must say that my mother must have known that I was going to be this person that I am here today because my name is set up specifically for that. And I've done some name altering things over the years to help really signify and put me in a position of what I'm doing here today. But it's something, it's a substantial name today. Put it that way. But as a kid, I didn't understand. I didn't know. And then once I started to dig into the origins of my name, I'm like, she ain't even know what she was doing. Right from day one, like it was already divinely set up that way. So now today I'm like, cool, I rock with it, I love it. But as a kid, oof, I used to go off all the time. I didn't like it.
But in a sense, don't you feel like that defense that you kind of developed as a kid kind of rolled over into your adulthood? Because now you feel like also, I'm pretty sure you might still have that problem with your name or people mispronouncing it. But now in your adult life, you're more so kind of like not necessarily on guard, but you kind of know it's coming sometimes. So it keeps you kind of ready to
Actually,
correct.
now check this out. I used to focus on it a lot as a kid, and I used to, as like teachers start calling names, I'm like, here we go. Now say something. And I used to be that student that was like, no, it ain't this way. And I used to be like ready to go in, and everybody would be laughing in the class and all that because they knew, oh, Larry about to go off on his teacher, but Larry about to go off on and it was always the substitute teachers. He about to go off. But now I don't even focus on that. I can't tell you how many times I'm just shocked because I'll be like, dang, you got my name right. Like everybody gets my name right the first time. It's no longer that opposite way that it used to be. So it's
But
interesting.
but do you see how much detail you had just and memories attached to your name?
Hmm.
Mm.
That's deep. That's
It,
deep.
it is just, and that's just the first page. Imagine the people who don't even like their name. You said you felt some type of way about it. There's somebody I know, and he cannot stand his name. I think I don't even he don't like his first name or his last name. The only name that he likes is his middle name, and he don't even go by it. Matter of fact, he prefer to go by a nickname more so than his actual birth name. And when you ask him why, it's like, that makes sense. But it's like just page one of unpacking your name. Mm.
I will say that you are opening up more when it comes to your I think when I first met you, you were more like guarded. I think you were like this when it came to, your projects. Now you're like this. So,
Oh yeah, it's like I kind of. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like also starting my own company, my own publishing company, even though she's still in the building phases, that gave me a lot of confidence in it to kind of like stand 10 toes down behind my kids because I consider my books my kids. And it just was like, I kind of, all right, Valia, okay, babe, scooch this. I call them my kids, and it just was like once I had her, it was like I don't play about her. And it's like when it comes down to my books, I don't play about them, and it's just like I also learn within my books, from my children's books to my adult books to self healing to educational books, it's my voice, and it's
Mhm.
like for so long since I was little, I always struggled with finding my voice and using my voice, and it's like now my voice can be heard. Like I told somebody, in a story time I did, one of the kids asked me, "What is something you love about being an author?" And I was like, "I've never in my life been to Ghana, never been to London, but the fact that my name has been to
Mhm.
Ghana and London, I have an audience in Ghana, I have an audience in London, an audience in Canada, places I've never even set foot in. That's dope as hell to me."
Yeah.
And like that's why. So it's like, yeah, makes me be a little bit more like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that. I have two questions. Actually, I have one question before we get into burning questions. So, your own publishing company, does that mean that if someone has, uh, you know, make sure I got it right because I've been sipping a little bit. Is it a transcript or a manuscript? Transcript, right?
Manuscript.
If they have that, can they bring that to you and you can publish it? Is that how that works, or you're just publishing your own?
No, well, for the right now, it's just my own because I've had people come to me and say, "Hey, will you help me turn this my such and such to a book?" And it's like I do not mind. My only thing is be serious because a lot of people say I want to be an author and it's easy, and it's like I hear you, yeah, cool, whatever. I want you to be serious because my goal is once my business is really fully off the ground is to start signing, inspiring authors. And it's just like I want to give you the experience that I never had. When I was
Mm,
signed to a
mm,
company, I was my marketing person. I was my PR person. I was my design person. I was literally carrying all the weight. But how was I carrying all the weight? But I was signed to a publishing company. And literally, one of the reasons why I feel like they got intimidated was because when I was brought on, I opened doors for myself that they had even opened for themselves, and they had been writing in the publishing industry way longer than me. Like literally, when I first got signed, I got an invitation to come to do a book signing in fucking Jamaica, and this was like, oh, let me come, and it was like, how about you don't go and you send our stuff? And it's like, hold on, if I did the footwork for myself, what the hell make you think I want to let you go in my place when they invited me? No. And I told myself if matter of fact, it's not even me. Let me not lie. I have a friend, good friend named April, and was like, Val, you got so many talents that you'd have did it all before with somebody else. You can literally step out and do it yourself. And so it's like, can I? And it's like, dang, I did. So I tell people, if you serious, I got you. I don't mind like hiring, like putting on one of my team, like one of my members to say, hey, check out this manuscript and let's see what it's working with. Let's see what my book designer is going to say about a cover. Let's see what events we can put together. But you got to be serious. You can't sit here and say, hey, I want to write a book on Tuesday and I don't hear back from you
Mm.
until 3 months later and say, okay, I'm ready. No, you're not.
I I got somebody I'm gonna send your way because I got a whole lot going on with Black Diamond Consultations, and when I say I got a whole lot going on, I got a whole lot going on. So time is very important to me. So I don't have the time that would make sense to dedicate to helping somebody at this moment because I'm helping myself, if that makes sense.
Oh,
So I'm gonna send somebody. I'm gonna try to link you two up if that makes sense because I have stuff that's been sent to me, but I just don't have the manpower now to review things properly and take on another project because I'm a project of myself. So that's that. I'll definitely hook you up with that after the show. Um, Second thing, you ready for burning questions?
yeah, come on. Yeah, he always hit me. Just anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Burning Questions. If you want to go ahead and participate in tonight's Burning Question, you most certainly can DM me. You can text me 609 200 1098. That is the official 411 Reading Between the Wines podcast hotline. Again, that number is 609 200 1098. And I know we have a Q&A session coming up as well. So, after that, we'll flow right into that. So tonight's burning question is, what has been your biggest lesson in learning to release what no longer serves you? I'll go ahead and read that again for those of you out there. What has been your biggest lesson in learning to release what no longer serves you? Go ahead.
Okay, this is actually a recent one. Again, that question relates back to its time back, just so we can just reiterate that. But anyways, personal level, um, in moving, right? Um, this was not my first attempt to move. I tried to move 2 years ago, and it did not go well. And I remember a few years back, I think around the time I was pregnant, I was homeless and I was living from place to place and like sleeping in my car here and there. And I needed to get my stuff and I needed to get a U-Haul. And I went to get a U-Haul and a lady at the place was like, we can't reach your U-Haul because you never returned one before. And I was like, what? What would I do with a U-Haul? Like, I'm pretty sure people take U-Hauls all the time, but dude, like, I did not take that U-Haul. Like, no. And she was like, well, let me see your license. Nothing on the record shows that basically I took the U-Haul, right? But this lady would not rent me a U-Haul for nothing in the world. So I end up basically having to find somebody to move my stuff to a storage unit. And I ended up losing like half of my stuff because it was like a car or a truck or something, and all my stuff couldn't fit. So whatever couldn't fit in their car, like I lost. So this time came around, fast forward to 2025, and it came time to moving in my first house. And I was like, dang, I got stuff now. I need a U-Haul. dang, I'm nervous. Like, I'm finna go to U-Haul, and it's been years later. Like, I don't know how this gonna go. Like, of course, there are other moving companies, but at the end of the day, U-Haul is the most common, familiar one. And so that was the first place I went. I just was like, dang, what if they still gonna be on the same thing? And I'm saying all this to say, when I went there, I made a reservation, gave them my driver's license, and they was like, Miss Jackson, this is your key for your U-Haul. And I just was like, what? Like, I was in a whole panic mode thinking like, dang, let me go ahead and write down this company name and this company name in case they tell me that, hey, like, I won't be able to get the U-Haul. So I can still be able to move. So let me just go ahead and write this down. I went in because I was holding on to the old memory of when they told me I couldn't. But before I went in, I told myself, Valene, this ain't that. And that's also been one of my mottos for this year. Darlene, this ain't that. So I said that to say that basically I was trying to carry what was into my now. And it's like, Darlene, this ain't that. And I was when I went and they gave me my keys and said, Miss Jackson, yo, U-Haul in the front, you got any more questions? And I just was shocked, like, what? And I was like, dang, Darlene, this was not that. So my biggest lesson was this ain't it. You got to let go of what was and deal with your now. And
Mm.
that's what I had to let go. Like, even this was before I told myself whatever it was, before I opened the door to the building, this ain't it. And literally, I had to stand in line. And I was like, why y'all gave me a reservation? It still didn't take me on time. Anyway, but when I got there, no problems, no missing truck, nothing. Just sign, pay, out the door, return at about 3:30. Is that good for you? And I was like, that's good. Moral of the story is I had to let it go and remember that this ain't it.
I like that. That's very mystical that you said that because now that story that you're speaking about, this ain't that, reminds me of just yesterday. I went to the Mary J. Blige concert, and
Oh, I
let's
know
just
you love.
yes, let's just say I have an electric car. Okay, so there is some level of uneasy that can happen when you're moving from uh, charging station to charging station,
Yeah,
and I felt myself getting a little riled up, but then I had to tell myself as I was driving down to Atlantic City, just like what you were saying, this ain't that. Like, soon as I felt like the nonsense come up, I'm like, hold up, you know who you are. You know, you vowed to make sure that you practice what you teach. So you're not going to sit here and come out here every single night saying one thing, and then now you sitting here doing something completely different. So I caught myself and I had to get myself together, and like what you were saying, this ain't that. And I said, absolutely not. We're not doing that. And remember what I was just speaking about the night before, Second Timothy, that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love, of a sound mind. So when I started to get that little uneasiness, that little anxiety, that little fear that would pop up from, okay, is the charging station going to be full? Is somebody going to, be in the spot? Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? Is this going to delay me? I had to, like what you were saying, this ain't that. And because oh my God, the lady also on the phone, when I had to get on the phone, we were trying to find a charging stations, and this one was saying something disrespectful. And I had to tell my kids, I said, listen, I'm so glad that I'm in the right state of mind today, because that little comment that person said, they would have been cussed out. But I had to tell myself that. And because I calmed myself down, things just started happening. Next thing you know, boom, what we thought was closed ended up being open. And what we thought wasn't going to work ended up opening. And then, like, my sister came across something, and then it became something that helped us out. And I'm so glad that I was in my right state of mind. That's what I kept telling my kids. I'm so glad that I'm in my right state of mind today, because if I was the person that I was back in the day, oh, it would have been completely different. And then when I used to get turned up, now I'm making everybody else a little crazy because of my own actions. So
right.
that that type of fear on the internal, that no longer serves me today, because God has given us, first of all, God has not given us a spirit of fear. He's given us a spirit of power and of love, of a sound mind. So if there's any type of fear, if there's any type of anxiety, if there's any type of anything that is lower vibrational, that don't come from him. And I know who my father is, so I don't serve the other one. So they ain't got nothing to do with me.
Period.
So on that note, Thank you so much for participating. I know we're going to get into this Q&A, but if you can please let everybody know where they can go ahead and follow you.
You can follow me on all social media platforms at author Vallean J. That is AUTHORV as in victory. ALLEANJ. I mean, from Facebook to Instagram and TikTok to YouTube. Find me. Go subscribe. Listen, even on YouTube. Like, yes, I got a YouTube channel. Okay, that be more the behind the scenes stuff, or of how events go, how I felt about it, what was going on when me taking day trips, like more so on a personal level. So definitely subscribe to that. I'm trying to work on adding more content, but it's just like life be life. But it also is like if you have more questions about being an author or about children's books, I also do like Q&As on there here and there. But literally Facebook, Instagram. I'm even on Twitter, but they don't call it Twitter no more. I still call it Twitter. Nobody caring about that man that is on. Nobody caring about him. It's Twitter. It's Twitter. Okay, I'm on there, and now on Twitter. Now let me tell y'all something. Don't tell nobody. But when I'm on there, I think Twitter is my favorite platform because, of course, it's just more so words, hence words. But I be in my most of my element. I be in my element. Like I be in there talking mad crap. I respond and stuff. I
You are.
follow me, but listen. Matter of fact, never. I change my mind. Don't follow me on Twitter. Never.
I
And I
can
take it back. Rewind, delete. Matter of fact, nope. Just do Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Don't do Twitter. Never mind.
Can I tell you that I'm just loving this face to face experience? It brings something totally different to it, and this is like by far one of our best lives ever, and I think it is because we can connect visually, but and it's just like it just flows. It flows. And what a great way to end the live series. And I want to thank you for that. But I definitely can tell the difference between when we can't see each other versus when we see each other.
Because you
And
can
you
see
are,
stuff and all my actions and
yeah.
see all my facial expressions that I was doing behind the phone. And I was rolling my eyes. This girl from Mississippi, and it was like, child, look, I might not be a whole Alabama fan, but I am from Alabama, not Mississippi.
I don't know why I kept thinking that. I don't know why.
He's like one of them southern states. I don't know. It's one of them southern states. It's down there somewhere. Okay.
You are an amazing individual. You do great things. The knowledge that you have around your craft and your, what do they say, your scene, you're the queen of your scene. I want to say continuously keep doing what you're doing, keep uplifting people, and thank you so much. Thank you for
Well,
everything that you've done.
I thank you for having me. That's literally my biggest goal. Most people, of course, I want to sell books. Don't get me wrong, but my biggest thing is the message that I want to be perceived. The message that, like, one of the little kids, my little story times be really dope. One of the little kids said, "What do you want people to take from your books?" And it's like so much. Number one, that you're not alone, and
Hmm.
there's nothing that you're going through that's impossible to get over. Nothing. It seems like it, but from my very first workshop, I did a workshop back in June 2024 uh, with It's Time to Unpack. And my opening line was, I learned about it when I was a sophomore in college. And a comedian came and said, I want you guys to know that you're not that special to think you're the only one. And that's what's my opening line. You're not that special to think you're the only one. So it's just like, and that's what my books is about, from children's books to adults to educational, whatever the case may be. You're not that special where, okay, Valia, you said, hey, babe, you're not that special that you're just the only one going through it. You're not that special to think here that you're not gonna get through it, or oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me. Baby girl, baby boy, you're not the only one. You're gonna get through it. It might not seem like it, but it's possible. So thank you for having me. Thank you for your platform. Thank you for continuing to, give entrepreneurs a platform to kind of express themselves and kind of talk about their work, because we need more platforms and people don't realize we really don't have that many. And they think like social media is so great. It is like, it's great, but it also, you can get lost. and getting the exposure that you need because it is so much. But to have an actual platform that's dedicated to entrepreneurs and authors and things of that nature, I think that's really dope. So I appreciate you. And I'm
Thank
proud
you
of
so much.
you for continuing to choose yourself and to stand 10 toes down behind yourself. So,
I like that. Stand 10 toes behind yourself. I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
okay.
Until next time, we'll see you when we see you.
And don't forget to buy It's Time to Unpack, you guys.
Show us one more time the cover. Yeah,
Remember, healing does not have a gender.
that's awesome.
It's all about you choosing you, standing up for you. That's what matters. All right, man.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Okay. See you later. Thank you.
Good night. Good night. Peace. Have a wonderful night. Good night. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Miss Vallean Jackson. Thank you so much for coming through. And yeah, this is the final episode of the live series for Reading Between the Wines. This is part one. So I know I said that I was going to go ahead and give you some more information. So this is part one. We're going to have the next part coming up soon. So stay tuned. Head on over to LarenGaines.com to get all of the information. You can sign up for my free newsletter, Whispers of Wisdom, and you'll get all the insights of when we're going to go ahead and have more live experiences, just like what you saw here tonight, just like what you saw here this week with Antonio, with Maddie Lee Mars, with Raquel Hernandez, with Birdman, with Ian West, and of course, what you saw here tonight. More of that's going to come. If you want to know all of the insights before everybody else does, go ahead and head over to LarenGaines.com and sign up for Whispers of Wisdom. Also, with that being said, you want to go ahead and sign up today because the newsletter is getting ready to drop soon. So sign up today so that you get the current version. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait another 30 days before the next one rolls out. So go ahead and sign up, LarenGaines.com, Whispers of Wisdom newsletter. You are going to get all of what you heard here tonight. You're going to get some information as far as the pillars that I spoke about, from debt-free living, from uh, spiritual, physical, mental, financial well-being. You're going to get all of that wrapped up. You are also going to get some exclusive Reading Between the Wines information. You're going to get replays. It's just this great letter delivered, this awesome letter delivered to your inbox just once a month. So I don't like all of that extra nonsense and emails and things that come through your mailbox. I'm not a fan of that. I've signed up for some people that I follow and some people who I believe in. And yes, it can get overwhelming sometimes when you have a whole bunch of emails coming in and out. But I promise you that we're only going to give you one a month and that's it. Another thing, you can also text me at 609 200 1098 if you like to receive some text messages as well, as far as, when upcoming shows, features are coming, news, updates, things of that nature. Sign up for the text messages as well. All you have to do is go ahead and send me a text at 609 200 1098 and you can unsubscribe at any time. If it doesn't work for you and it's something that you're not interested in anymore, of course, it's easy to unsubscribe. So, a lot going on this week. Great experience. We're speaking about restoration, making everything come together, rebuilding from the ashes, reclaiming your peace, reclaiming your power, restoring what the enemy has stole. Amazing experience. I'm pleased with it, overwhelmed, overjoyed, the whole nine. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Now we got another comment here. Folders. That's interesting. First of all, shout out to D Live. I waited all week for the D Live family to wake up, and you have. So what's going on? Thanks so much, Birdman 313. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you for supporting. I appreciate you. So here's the information that I wanted to say for the end. So even though the live series is gone, this is the last part of part one. Part two is coming soon. the 411 podcast, Reading Between the Wines, will continue on. We are going to continue with daily content. And I'm also going to have the mentorship program started. So you will get to see me interact with students. Students are going to go through the debt-free living process, and we're going to go through the four pillars, and we're going to help solve some of everyday life's problems. So situations that you might be going through, situations that your friend might be going through, family members, we're going to go ahead and bring that to the forefront. And we're going to dissect everyday problems. It could be something that you're going through. It could be something that somebody you know that's going through. It could be something that you just come out of. It could be something that you may even just be stepping into, getting ready to step into. We're going to dissect that, and we are going to give you all of the information that we can give you here each and every night daily. So that's coming up. Stay tuned. Head on over to LarenGaines.com. We're coming back. We're coming back. We're coming to educate. We're coming to teach. We're coming to train. We're coming to discuss. Just like Vallean Jackson said, we're coming to unpack. We're coming to evolve. We're coming to grow. We're coming to support one another right here. So stay tuned. It's coming. Lock in this time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because it's going to come every single night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of the guests. This bottle here definitely, even though I said I wasn't like a full fan of it, I was sort of in the middle, not one way or the other. It definitely did the trick tonight. Plus, also, I'm not going to discredit Miss Vallean. She definitely had something to do with it too. But I will tell you, feeling pretty good right about now. Thank you so much. On that note, I will see you when I see you. Stay tuned. More episodes are coming up real soon. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Cheers. See you when I see you. Head on over to LarenGaines.com. Sign up for the free 15-minute consultation. Thank you.